Persuasive speech. Following the writing of a resolution, students should prepare speeches. Speeches must be planned in order to be effective. Speaking off the cuff is necessary, especially during points of information, but the ultimate aim is for all participants in the debate to speak freely using only their notes to guide them. It is recommended to write out a speech in full ahead of time and put it to memory, but not recommended to read a speech word for word. The object of a speech is to persuade and even convince others and not merely to state an opinion. In some cases, a nation's policy may place a student in a position where he must defend the indefensible and cannot be expected to persuade a majority to support him. In preparing speeches, students must be aware not only of their strengths and weaknesses, but also be aware of the points to be made by others. It is advisable to list arguments and counterarguments so students will be in a position to defend their views as well as make proposals. Remember, a speech is heard only once and, therefore, needs to leave a strong impression.
The audience will remember the important parts of a speech that is short, clear and well-structured than if they have to listen to a long, confusing, and rambling one.
The key elements to an effective speech include the following. The most important points are arranged in ascending order with the final point to climax. Numbering the points is helpful to the speaker in delivering the speech and to the audience in remembering it. Use a keyword or phrase for each argument and repeat the main points before yielding the floor. The advanced speaker has taken the next steps in preparing his techniques and delivery. Besides building repetitions, using catchphrases and rhetorical pauses, he has worked out his stance, firm, dogmatic, ironic, conciliatory, etc., the image he wants to project, idealistic, revolutionary, moderate, etc., and the appropriate level of language needed for the role he is assuming. The Moon Director can help in the selection of appropriate terminology, phraseology and vocabulary in this aspect of speech-making in the classroom. Speakers should deliver their speeches in a clear, loud voice. Every speech should have an obvious beginning, e.g., Madam Chairwoman, ladies and gentlemen, the delegate is in favor of this resolution because, followed by arguments that are to the point, and an obvious ending, e.g., therefore, I urge the House to vote in favor of this resolution. I will now yield to points of information. Points of information must be phrased in the form of a question, but that does not imply that they are used to elicit information from the speaker. In many cases, they are used rhetorically in order to express an opinion when one does not have the floor or to support or disconcert the speaker who does have the floor, e.g., does the speaker not agree that the recent strike against unarmed civilians in Iraq can only be regarded as murder? The speaker who has the floor should not allow himself to be put off by points of information. He can, however, take the opportunity to reply to the question in any way he chooses, either re-emphasizing his points earlier or using the question as a springboard to launch into another argument. Points of information should never be answered by a simple yes or no, which would be a wasted opportunity. It is during this stage of answering points of information that the debate is the liveliest, so students should be encouraged to answer points which arise and not simply yield the floor after delivering their prepared speech. Opening speeches take about 1 minute to present. Its purpose is to introduce the country and to give a very brief introduction to the issue discussed in the resolution as well as the country's perspective regarding other issues that will be debated within the caucus. Sample persuasive speech. Good morning, delegates of the House and Chairperson. My name is, and along with I represent. Today our delegation is here to discuss one of the most aggravating issues in the world. It is a great concern to our people, and we are sure that it is a great concern to the entire world as well. We are here to discuss the HIV virus, most commonly known as AIDS. As all of you are aware, suffers from a tremendous lack of healthcare, which accelerates the population's death rate. The HIV/AIDS is affecting 1.1 million people in the country. This disease is most commonly transmitted by women that are raped by members of armed groups in Eastern. Survivors of rape are frequently abandoned by their families and communities, therefore they are forced to leave their homes and are left in poverty. Women are 3 times as likely to be living with HIV/AIDS as young men, and within the next 10 years, more than half of the population will be threatened by it. It will also have a catastrophic future effect on the health of the country, due to its history of so many civil wars, diseases and death rates are always increasing in the widespread